it was a blip. It's a blip that I hope will never repeat itself again. And I'm happy. And again, I'm very happy that we got a chance to remedy it and we took that chance against Mali.
Good evening, guys. It's wonderful being with you again on the Malam Goal podcast. Today, I'm very excited because, Charlie, for God knows how long, we've been sharing our opinions on everything that happens, particularly with the establishment of Ghana football, with no real responses, at least as far as face-to-face interactions are concerned, on why this happened, why that happened, why we didn't qualify for the AFCON, all of that. So we've decided to bring one man who is as close as it gets, part of the decision-making process on the day-to-day, case-to-case management of our Black Stars. The team manager of the national team, Ameenu, the guy who decided to drop the pen and go and be picking up cones and logistical and procurement stuff and whatever the nomenclature is that is associated with his role. I'll introduce him in a bit, but he is that guy. He used to be a journalist. This job that we're doing, he say his mind, speak anyhow about anybody. If he sees something he doesn't like, Ameenu, Ghana Soccer Net, he'll meet you for there. Today, he is in the hot seat, right, at the Ghana Football Association's, our own Black Stars as the team manager. So, Ameenu,
Yeah.
welcome.
Where from the picking up of cones, though?
But it is everything that you guys...
Yeah, but I don't pick up cones.
It's part of... But if you're walking and you see that the cones are not properly arranged...
I just don't work and pick up cones.
You just called your place.
So the team know what you do.
What do you mean by what are they do?
No, we don't know. So they ask you what does a job entail, like a team manager, like what you do.
Well, basically, you just have to create. You are basically like the link for the technical, like the coaches, the coaching staff, and the management. Make sure that you provide all that the team needs to perform. Basically, you are like the liaison.
Coaching staff and management. That's management committee.
Yeah, the management committee. You liaise, basically the implementer. They set the policy and you implement it, basically, and then make sure that the team gets whatever it needs to make it perform and solve problems, any kinds of problems.
So they bring matters to you.
Any kinds of problems.
So like somebody takes somebody in there and we can't tell you.
Oh, we have such discussions also. This is, you are like an all-rounder. Yeah. We're one big family.
We're counselor.
I swear, I'm a counselor. I'm a relationship coach.
That's where the grey hair comes in.
No. That we'll get to that.
So the last time, as the PFAG people come there, as they come meet the Black Stars, I see some reunion visually. I see a free aqua. Do you see that picture of a free aqua?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Why was it trending though?
Really beautiful picture.
Why was it trending?
But it was a nice picture.
I saw it was all over the place.
Yeah, a free aqua in Jordan, the picture that
they were in a handshake or something.
It
was all over.
The PFAG went.
They were teammates.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand. Why was it? Maybe you that's why.
Me too. I don't know.
So why was it all over the place?
People like the picture. People like.
Okay, yeah, it was a nice.
The nostalgia
It was a nice picture, right?
Yeah. It was a really nice picture. Yeah. It came to mind when you said
this guy, you're up to something. The way you are laughing.
So it came to mind when you said that you address all manner of issues, including when somebody takes somebody in girl. You see, so once you have to address all of those things, when visitors also come,
what has that got to do with the picture?
That's what I'm saying. When visitors come, you are the liaison between the team. You prepare the ground and make sure that the players receive the visitors well.
So what has that got to do with the picture?
But that's what I've just explained.
I'm still lost. DK, are you getting it?
Enough questions.
No,
you came here.
No, DK, are you getting it? Yeah, don't get it, too.
You say you are the liaison.
Yeah, but the picture that you brought, I don't know. What?
But they are visitors who visited the team.
But there were a lot of pictures. Why did you zone into that picture? There were a lot of pictures.
If you want to talk something.
Exactly.
I can pick what I want to represent what I want to discuss.
Okay, fine. So
what can't tell us what.
The picture was nice, though.
Charlie, you've heard from Daniel Pranti. He's back on the show.
My guy.
Ameenu came with allegations about how he was not invited to a certain wedding. Meanwhile, that day he was in Kumasi.
It doesn't matter.
Black Stars get gift.
It doesn't matter.
He's not a serious guy. Don't mind.
The wedding, the engagement day.
Engagement day, you
Thanksgiving-
engagement day be the day you post.
Thanksgiving Day.
But it was the day before the match. How are you going to?
No, but you
disappear?
invite me, then I'll decide what to do. Maybe I could send representatives.
We knew your
I know you
itinerary.
that. I wanted you, not a rep.
We knew your itinerary, and we knew you were in
It's
Kumasi.
your
There's no
loss.
way you could
It's your
have.
loss because I was coming with. But well, well, if you don't want, I can't force you.
Anyway, let's get into the conversation and start with the role. I mean, why did you take the job as Black Stars team manager?
Because I saw it as a very, very good challenge. I've always wanted to work in a national team setup, one way or the other. But I'm not a coach. I'm an administrator, and I think the job fell in line with my personal ambitions and what I wanted to do, and I wanted to have a feel of how the national team operates as part of a learning curve, and it really appealed to me, and also. I wanted to, the way it was presented, it was almost like it was a problem that they think I'm best equipped to help solve. And for me, it was a very, very good opportunity, and I'm grateful that I was presented with this opportunity. And since I took the role, I've not regretted at all. It has taught me a lot of things. It has opened my mind to a lot of things. I understand a lot of things better, and I hope many more people get such opportunities to open and broaden their horizon. It's a good job. Very, 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 very highly pressured job, but it's a good job.
For a lot of people, at the time that you got the job, we look back to the trajectory of the people who had held that office before you. So the late Opokunti, so Stephen Appiah, so Saban Craig.
But Stephen Appiah wasn't a team manager. Stephen Appiah has never been a team manager.
2019 was the performance.
He was
He was team coordinator.
He was a coordinator. He has never been a team manager.
In terms of designation, but the rules were different.
No,
Practically, in terms of what he did.
he's never been a team manager. He's never worked as a team manager. For
I'm
Black
saying,
Stars.
okay, I take your point, but I'm saying that in terms of title, they called him team coordinator.
Okay.
But in terms of the actual responsibility, was that not the same job he did?
No.
What was the difference?
It goes way beyond. I don't think.
So his role. So I think the difference would be the fact that he was a coordinator of national teams.
No, but the truth of the matter is that I wasn't there when he was there, so I wouldn't be able to speak.
But he performed team manager roles, except that he extended to.
What do you
other
think team
national
manager
teams.
roles are?
Everything you've explained.
Okay. And you think Stephen did all that? I don't think so. But I wasn't there, so I can't speak.
Okay.
You know,
But the question I was going to ask was that your appointment was the exception to the norm, in terms of, for a lot of the personalities we had seen, former ex-players, some of them previous association with the rules in the past, at different levels, at different clubs. Yours was one of the few cases where you have an administrator straight into.
But the one I replaced, Henry Marty, I don't recall him playing such a role elsewhere before. I don't know.
Yeah.
For a fact.
But that's and
No,
also
you see, you are being mischievous. Let me help
let
you.
me
here.
finish the question.
No, I know where you are going.
You did it. Let me
Okay,
when I
let me
finish,
grant you.
that's your affiliation to the GFA establishment is the one thing
That is the issue now.
But
Go.
if
Charlie, you like foreplay. Oh. Just go to the main thing.
because for me it was two things. You cannot just take your relationship alone. But anyway, was what was held up against you?
First and foremost, actually, by virtue of me knowing you and getting closer to you, I'll probably appreciate your attributes more and your qualities more. And if I'm faced with a situation where, on top of my head, your qualities and attributes could solve a problem, I'll be the first to recommend you. So it's just like that. Of course, I work with the GFA president whilst he was the secretary chairman of Dream Service. He knows what I can do. He knows what I can't do. He knows my abilities, my capabilities, he knows my limitations. He felt I could solve a problem. I could help solve a problem or contribute a quota of what I've studied and all that in helping make the national team better. The verdict is still, the jury is still out there as to whether, I think when I'm done and gone, maybe it will be the right time to make a fair assessment of whether indeed I've played a role well. But So per my association, of course, it will give me opportunities, and that's how I got the opportunity. And I don't feel ashamed at all with this, because it happens everywhere. People come highly recommended based on relationships and all that. And I'm very, very grateful that my name came up, because so far I've learned a lot. I've got to know people even better. I've built good relationships, and I'm virtually a better person now than I were before. So I'm grateful.
Would you say you were the most qualified of all eligible Ghanaians at the time?
I won't say I'm the most qualified. I don't have a PhD. There are people who are doctors, who are this thing. So I won't say I'm the most qualified person. No, I won't. There are a lot of people. In fact, and that is why if I'm no more in the role, we'll get a lot more people who are willing and are ready to fill in the position. And it's a privileged position. To be called amongst a population of 32, 33 million people, and you are called to be the team manager of the A national team. It's a privilege. It's a privilege that I don't take lightly at all.
Does your relationship with the FA president not create problems for you? And I mean this question in two parts. The first part being his own tendencies to interfere. So, for example, he has seen a problem that he thinks needs your attention, but you perhaps have a different view of going about it. Does it not create a problem for you? Number two, does it not create mistrusts for you within the people that you have to work with? Say, for example, the Black Stars player, a Black Stars player who could undermine your work because he feels this guy, he got the job because of his former boss, or even the coach, or someone in there who undermines you because they feel you only got it because of your association. If you could handle the first part before that.
Well, I always believe that your quality and your attitude and approach towards whatever role is giving you is what will give you credit as you go along. I don't believe at all that I've acquitted myself in such a way that people will feel the need to sabotage me or frustrate me because of my association. I think, if anything at all, people are far forgotten that it's partly based on my association that even got me the role, because I believe I've approached the job with a sense of a lot of professionalism, also being aware of this relationship and how it could play out. So I'm very, very careful and very, very focused on delivering on a mandate. Of course, there are occasions where it creates conflicts amongst, because, like you said, my view on things, and I'm a very open-minded person, and when I believe in a certain way, it's very, very difficult to convince me otherwise, unless you have superior, bevy of facts. So yes, occasionally there are conflicts in between here and there, but it's part of life, I guess. You just have to just go along.
Charlie, if you have any question,
Charlie, is this a Q&A? This is not a Q&A. Is it a Q&A?
I didn't go and sit here to come and this thing.
Let's go into the matters.
The AFCON qualifiers, serious question I want to ask you. We won't flop for the World Cup, the AFCON. We went to flop, we chopped last for our own. Then we came back, match some friendlies being Morocco. Then the Otto came back. His first competitive games were the World Cup qualifiers. Went away against all odds. Bamako beat Mali. Came back home. Central African Republic beat them. Jordan Ayew hat-trick. Then the AFCON qualifiers starting. The group looks really good, very winnable, and all of a sudden the thing just flopped. Only for you guys to turn around and win back-to-back World Cup qualifiers again. In fact, you've won 3 of the last 4 World Cup qualifiers and drawn 1. I'm beaten in 4, 3 wins, 1 draw. But the AFCON, why is it that Morocco you won't go over?
You see, even before this AFCON qualifiers, if you look at the trajectory of the national team performance relative to the AFCON, and you draw a graph, if you're a scientist, you knew this was bound to happen. From 2017 Cameroon, when we made, is it semi-final? In 2019, we made round of 16. In 2021, we got out of the group stage. In 2023, we got out of the group stage. So the next 4 was obviously going to be we not qualifying. I didn't expect it. No, none of us. It came as a shocker to all of us, honestly. And it's the reason why I have gray hair. I've never had gray hair. Never. I was really depressed. As a Ghanaian,
You were depressed.
I was extremely depressed. Those who were closest to me knew how I was distraught. I was after the final game against Niger, I think I didn't leave my room for 4 days or so. I just wasn't interested in.
Ameenu, what happened?
I think it's a combination of being complacent, not approaching the games with a lot of seriousness, making mistakes that a lot of us, including even the coach, even admitted to, not really assessing situations really well and making certain moves that were detrimental to the well-being of the team. I think these things came together.
Let's break them down.
To affect us.
Let's break them down one. First, you said complacency. I think that part will be pretty much clear. But you said not taking certain games seriously.
Not necessarily on whose part. Complacency on whose part? The players, the coach.
No, I think it's not only. I think the whole, like you said when you were even posing the question, you said it was a fair group. Why do you say it's a fair group? It's a winnable group. So the whole population thought that this group we should. In fact, we should make it. It's our bet, right, to make the AFCON, especially with a group like this. So the mood of the nation was that we were going to make it. So it's not a player thing, a technical team. It was the whole country.
But we've always had that expectation.
Yeah.
AFCON qualifiers.
And I'm saying that football has changed to the stage where don't assume that because you have a couple of players who are hacking it at top international level, it means you can just walk over the others. That kind of feeling is what feeds into the mentality, and that feeds into the complacency, and you go into games and you think you've already won even before the ball is kicked.
I mean, this explanation you are giving here, I think it would make more sense if it was in a tournament field where you enter with complacency and there's no time to recover. But the AFCON qualifiers
Across a 6-game cycle.
6-game cycle within 3 months. So if you were complacent against Angola, you've lost that.
Yeah, that's what. If you listen to me, I said it started with being complacent because I remember when we lost the first game, which on account of play we had no business losing that game. We created so many chances. One slip, and then they scored late in the game. The feeling was that we're going to bounce back. This is just a blip. That was the feeling. We're always going to bounce back. I had that feeling. Ahead of the game against Nigeria, I knew we were going to win it. We went one goal up before halftime. I knew, okay, we didn't play too good, but we have a goal. We're controlling the game. No danger. Last minute again, something happened, and then we conceded a goal. And then all of a sudden, the complacency is now turning into panic. So it's one stage to the other. And then, like I said, also mistakes here and there that the coach himself has even admitted to,
We'll come to that part.
So it's a combination of a lot of things that came together.
Yeah. Let's unpack them. So you've mentioned the complacency thing. Then you said not taking certain things and games seriously. On whose parts? Players, coaching staff, management?
Again, you see, it's all of us. I don't.
Okay. Even if you cannot mention specifically who, what was not taken seriously?
No, but like I told you, when we lost the game against Angola, and on account of how well we played, the projection was that we were going to beat Niger. We should beat Niger, actually. We didn't play particularly well, but we were 1-0 up. You feel like very, very confident that at the end of this game, we should have like 3 goals. So at the end of the game, we sat rooted in our chairs and we couldn't believe what had just happened. Then going to the next round of games, it becomes panic. And it is not always a good situation where you are very, very confident of achieving something. All of a sudden, you are scrambling for results. Then you are forced to make even more mistakes if you are not too careful. And I think this then snowball into other issues, which is very, very public. We all know, you discussed it here several times. So it's a combination of all these things. But for me, the major takeaway always has to be that something needed to happen for us to really wake up. And unfortunately, it was we missing the AFCON, which for me hurts me dearly.
This wasn't the wake up.
Yes, it was. But like I said, then panic mode is activated, and then you are making mistakes upon mistakes, It's like being in a boxing ring and you get knocked down and your haste to get up, you are wrong-footed, you fall again, and it cascades into other things. You understand? It becomes a very confused situation at that point in time. And that's, again, why I have gray hair. Because I couldn't understand what was happening. A lot of things were happening at the same time, and people were going crazy and all that. So, for me, I would just say, I always look back on that terrible run, and it's like a lesson. And whenever we are in sticky situations that is similar to what we've been in, we look to ourselves and like, no, not this time around.
I'm glad you ended that way, actually. I'm really glad you ended that way. Unfortunately, I wasn't here to review the chat game. But for a group that has gone through or has faced the ramifications of complacency, in your own words, we could have qualified for the World Cup in this window if we had won, or basically would have had one foot at the World Cup if we had beaten Chad and beaten Mali. That performance against Chad, Charlie, like, why?
It was a bad one. It was a very bad one. The good thing is though that we had a chance to remedy it, and we did remedy it, and we put ourselves in a stronger position than even before. Even though we've not qualified there, but we are in a very, very strong.
No, but
position.
you see, what I think.
But I'm saying, okay,
people want to understand.
Yeah.
Like, what is the thinking?
Okay,
why
let me give
do we
you.
see such like lethargic performances?
Okay, let me give you a scenario. Let me give you exactly. For instance, when the call-up was made, 24 players were supposed to report. Jiku had to go to Russia to do his medical, so he couldn't join us to N'Djamena. Joseph Pencil's flight from LA to New York to connect to a flight to Accra was delayed. So by the time we got to New York, the flight had already gone. He couldn't join us to N'Djamena. So already 2 players who perhaps were going to figure in the coach's plans were off. It alters a lot. Then we get to N'Djamena, the final training session. Ibrahim Suleimana, who had played very well in the last round of games and was probably going to start that game, got injured in the last training session. And then the person who was supposed to partner in that midfield also got ill that evening. Clearly, it alters a lot. Then you go into a game and it wasn't the right conditions. And I was having this discussion off air with him. Playing at 1 o'clock in such a condition, for me, it's not a way. It's not good for any athlete to be put in, especially at this high level, to be subjected to that kind of condition.
But I mean,
those are the factors. Yeah. But even with those factors, I agree and I concede that we still had enough to have seen the game through and to have won it. Yeah. So again, it was a mistake, but I'm happy that we had a chance to remedy it and we took that chance.
On that point about even the timing of the fixture, if we know that we're going into temperate regions, right, and we're going to have that game at 1 p.m., how then do we draw a preparation plan that is completely opposite to the climatic conditions then? Because if we are training in Accra around 1 p.m., these days the weather is very kind, but it will still not be as cool as how it is 5 p.m. in the evenings. It will be something closer to the weather in N'Djamena.
The game was on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
The players started reporting. The last player in camp arrived Tuesday. And then we emplaned on Wednesday. That was the only time we could emplane to N'Djamena because, mind you, apart from the stadium we played, there's no other better place where you can even have a good training session. So going to N'Djamena days ahead of the game was even out of the question.
I'm talking about our training sessions here.
Yes, here. But the conditions, like, you had to be there. I wish you were there.
Is the mosquito story true?
Mine is very true. We went into a shuttle. The shuttle that takes us from the tarmac to the terminal is as if it's been abandoned, not used for years. We enter and mosquitoes are flying all over. We came back. Some of the players had flu. Now we pair players.
Yeah.
We're forced to, isolate some of the players ahead of the Mali game because we came back. Some of the players were reacting to the conditions that we faced. As unideal the conditions, I still believe that, and we know that we still could have gotten the results. It was a blip. It's a blip that I hope will never repeat itself again. And I'm happy. And again, I'm very happy that we got a chance to remedy it and we took that chance against Mali.
It is a performance that I find it very difficult to let go because this was last year all over again.
Yeah.
The AFCON qualifiers.
Yeah.
One, and this one, it is unfortunate that because of where you are and your loyalty to the players and your oath of secrecy, it is not, you can't give us the names, but as much as possible, I would want you to be open-minded about this. The reports I had, all through the AFCON qualifiers, was that the attitude the boys showed in the first 2 World Cup qualifiers was the exact opposite of the attitude in camp during the AFCON qualifiers. Some players will report to camp late. Some of them for team meetings, they wouldn't come early. Some would not sleep on time. And you can tell it's from their energy levels during training sessions and all. The seriousness that the boys showed during World Cup qualifiers, why is it different from AFCON qualifiers?
Something we need to investigate. Maybe you can commission a research into it.
But right now, that is your job.
Yeah, but like you said, in your preamble to the question, I might have some insight, but there's not where to share those.
No,
insights,
I'm saying not the names of the specific.
No, but I can't even go into it. I can't even go into the issue. But I'm saying that, yeah, I get it. You know, a lot of factors come into play. Maybe some people don't value the AFCON as much as some others do. It could be a factor. Maybe the timing of the AFCON has always been a problem. It has been an ongoing discussion, how it conflicts with the main leagues in Europe and where their bread is ultimately battered and all that. It could be a factor. It's not something you can run away from. But maybe to speak very authoritatively on this issue, we need to get the facts right. And unfortunately, I'm not able to provide that information.
Otto, even before we got here,
are we doing Q&A?
We're having a conversation. We're having a conversation.
But Danitke is not saying anything. He's also asking questions.
When he has to, he will teach.
It's a discussion.
I thought Otto should have been fired right after the AFCON.
Otto feels he should have been fired right after the AFCON qualifier. He said it publicly. He's grateful for the opportunity to remedy the terrible AFCON campaign. He admits this. In fact, some of us thought we were gone. So we are only grateful that we got the chance.
You expected to be fired? Of
course. We are only grateful that we've gotten a second chance and want to make most of the chance that we've been given.
What happened?
And everybody deserves a second chance. Some get, some don't get. Yeah. Fortunately for us,
you got it.
We got.
What happened in that project review meeting when the FA sat down with the technical team and backroom staff? What reasons did they give?
It's very obvious.
For keeping you
it's very obvious. Okay, we had a terrible run, and the factors that affected that terrible run were discussed at length. It was very, very clear that even though the technical team shared some of the blame, you cannot ultimately hang all the blame on them. So there were other factors. So if we are able to remedy those other factors, does it make the team better? Well, subsequent events have shown that indeed the team has gotten better, results have gotten better, performance have gotten better, and we are in a better position now than we were before. So the postmortem was good. But ultimately I just put it to, we're just giving another chance of the cherry, and we are making good use of it. That's all I'll say. The coach knows this. A lot of us know this because we feel the pulse of the nation. And in fact, unfortunately, it's because of that terrible run. That's why I think we are not getting as much credit as we should. Because people still look back on that and enhance them and influences their commentary on how, if you look at the run we've had in the World Cup qualifiers and you compare it to the groups, bar Egypt and Morocco, who have had exceptional. Tunisia have qualified, but if you look at their point build-up, I don't think it's that way of like Morocco and then Egypt. We've been phenomenal, but we are not getting the accolades, and rightly so, in my opinion, because of the terrible run we had.
A run of 6 wins, 5 draws, and 5 defeats can't be phenomenal.
6 games, it is.
6 wins.
Yes, yeah. It is.
How?
International football is not easy, my brother. If you play 6 matches and you've won 5 and drawn 1, you've lost the game. It is good enough. If we win, if we keep this consistent year on, we'll be top 10 team in the world.
No.
Yes.
Because
that's what it takes. That's what builds up your points.
Yeah, but that rate also has 6 consecutive games of no win. No show at the AFCON. If you're not
so you're talking about the formed within the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making.
That's the 6th.
That's Otto's second.
Yeah, but the AFCON, the World Cup qualifiers kicked in proper. I think 4 games after the disastrous AFCON campaign. Yeah. So I'm saying that after that debacle, we played 4 games. We won all of them bar 1, which was a draw. If you add it to the 2 previous that he played, he's been phenomenal. The statistics don't lie. If you write an exam, and you score 89, you didn't score 100%. It's an A.
But he hasn't scored 89, has he? Unless you are compartmenting.
You've played 6 games.
If you are compartmenting.
Ameenu is looking at World Cup qualifiers.
That's what I'm saying.
The focus is on the World
Cup. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that for the World Cup campaign, it's been really, really good. But people are not raving about it. And in my opinion, rightly so, because of the disaster we had. Mm-hmm. And that is influencing a lot of the commentary. Yeah. And I can understand why. Because you can't tell me, if we had qualified for the AFCON, I'm sure a lot of people will be raving about our form. Yeah, and probably will be projecting us as favorite to even win the AFCON based on the form we've exhibited in the World Cup qualifiers. But we are not getting those accolades. And in my opinion, rightly so, because we had a disaster.
So the Mali game, no, in fact, sometimes it's good you are here because you've sat in the seat we are sitting before, and now you have more access to information. When it comes to the selection, I really want to understand something because me, I've done my own, and I've been one to explain / defend certain call-ups because when I look across the world, in my experience, the football I've watched over time, national team call-ups are very funny. Loyalty plays a huge factor, not just form. But I also know that when it comes to certain players playing at certain levels, there's no excuse for not picking them. And I'm going to the Kwesi Sibo example. Charlie, and this is not from Ghanaians. When you read the reports from last season, from the Segunda coming into the La Liga, even this season, his form, you look at the stats, he has something that this Black Stars team lacks. When Partey is not there, he's the only one who can provide close to what Partey will give us in terms of the central midfielders. So from our POV, when we sit and we are giving permutations as to who should be selected, he's a very key. You mentioned Ibrahim Sulemana, who for me has done really well in Partey's absence. But when you look at the numbers between Sibo is an upgrade, and I'm talking about somebody who can protect the back and still give a bit more progressive and can add to attack. So, honestly, Partey played what? 10 minutes in the La Liga. Yeah. He's not started. In fact, he's not played 45 minutes cumulatively. So match fitness is an issue. You know that you are going to Chad, which is very... Even if Partey was in 6F, it will be daring to put him in those conditions when he's not built up match fitness. Why was Sibo completely left out of the squad? Completely. At the expense of, or in favor of some of these guys who Otto has seen, you and I have seen. We know what they can do, but we know their limitations also. And I'm talking about the Partey factor because you and I knew that Partey won't last 90 minutes in both games. It will be very tough on him, tough on his body. So why was Sibo completely left out? For somebody to fall sick, for somebody to get flu, for somebody to get injured before he was called in. Then he's drafted straight into the starting lineup. And now we can all see what we knew from the beginning. Why do we do some of these things?
They could have gone spectacularly wrong.
Okay, so see. So the squad, 24 players were mentioned, were announced. Yeah. What a lot of people don't know is that usually the coach And we've had call-ups for World Cup qualifier where we've had 26 players called up for 2 assignments. And the coach's wish was to call probably around that same, but a lot of things were factored into also. And we all know we are going through a regime of austerity. We need to rationalize spending and all that. Sibo was on the list as a standby, the first standby option. So anything that happens in the central midfield area in terms of, and we knew that Elisha was a card away from suspension, but we didn't anticipate there could be injury to Ibrahim Suleiman. I can understand why a coach will select these people, that the other players, ahead of Sibo. Because Otto's principle has always been he wants to keep a consistent squad. He's always a stickler for keeping some form of consistency. The only way you probably find your way out of his squad, if you've been part of his previous squad, is if you are injured or not playing at all. And in this case, the players who play in that same position are playing. Mm-hmm. And he's familiar with them. And he feels, as against somebody he doesn't, he's seen the statistics, but hasn't observed him at close range. Yes, on hindsight, you say that, he's good enough to come, per what he displayed. But football is such a way that he could have come and wouldn't have had a good day. And what would have become of him? Could have probably killed him and say, he's not ready after all. So he was on a standby. So anything happened in the central midfield position, we're always... So when the Suleimana issue happened in N'Djamena, the last training session, we already thinking of bringing him already. And then it was even exacerbated by the illness to Partey. So he was already going to come. What I'm suggesting to you is that if perhaps we had called a larger squad, say 25, 26, as we've done in previous, qualifiers, maybe he would have found himself in there. Mm-hmm. But obviously, with the kind of performance he also gave, he had then put himself in a very, very strong position. And the coach even admitted that he's probably one of the few people who will be figuring. So it's both ways. But this is football.
I would say that, look, Otto needs to be a bit more ruthless, especially on players that he has come to trust. We have seen Elisha Owusu and Salis for a long time. I don't think they have repaid the loyalty that he has shown in them. Because there was a period where Salis had long spells of inactivity. Yeah. On the back of that, he still got call-ups.
He called one call-up. That was the Unity Cup.
At the start of the season.
No, I mean, you see, when he wasn't playing, he wasn't being called.
At the end of last season, no. At the
end of last season, when he returned from injury, when he was at Sunderland, that was when he was called for the Unity Cup. And even that one, it was because we had so many pull-outs. If you recall.
I'm saying that it has continued.
Because he's playing now. He's played 290 minutes game.
Played games where... No, the point I'm making is that irrespective of what these guys do at their club level, when they come into the national team, we can't seem to get a replication of that.
That is your opinion.
It may be tactical.
That's your opinion. But you see, I've also had chance to let me chip in to help you. Okay. I've also had chance to see the data at close range, because the club technical teams also share information with us. And the data we see doesn't suggest what, and even when they come to us, the distance they cover and the work they do doesn't reflect what you are saying. And why I will understand to some extent why Otto will decide to keep them. They've been good to us at times. Very, very good, actually, in some situations.
Because of the data
and if you're a coach, a national team coach, and not a club coach, where you have very, very short turnaround time, you're always looking for consistency.
Familiarity. Yeah.
Always.
I get that, but I think that
it is in the extremely, and if you study national team collapse of all countries, it's almost the same template, because you have a very short turnaround time. Very, very short. So the only sure way you can get something really going and not trying to start all over again is calling players, majority of them who are very, very familiar with.
Look, I always say that.
But I appreciate your point also. There are some wild cards that you can't just overlook.
He needs to be a bit more ruthless for those two especially, because we are not poor in terms of central midfield options. Not by any stretch. So that is one area that I want to see a bit more ruthlessness. Yeah, especially when there are new players coming up.
He is ruthless.
Every now and then.
He puts Salis on the bench.
See, I have a different take too. I want them in the team, but Otto needs to know when to use them, because there are certain games that demand certain things, like away at Chad. Everybody has beaten Chad. Chad, to be frank, look, they are poor team.
But Aneke,
I need to land on
has beaten Chad away from Chad.
Look, I need to land on this point. That's fine. This was the first time they were playing at home.
In 8 years.
Yes, I'm saying that.
And I can guarantee you, anybody goes to Chad, they'll probably get
suffer. Yeah. But I'm saying that because of the conditions, not because of their football. But when you assess this Chad team, it is not and in fact,
it's actually a different
Otto's setup suggested that he knew that Black Stars would dominate. And I know that because when Otto goes into games where he feels he's the underdog, he usually goes with the back three. He goes with extra protection. But when he went with the back four, parading the front four that he went with, those two central midfielders, that's what I'm saying. You see, sometimes I say coaches can set up players in a way. Because me, I like Salis. Away at Mali, he did a very important job. And that was one of the games where you saw Otto use him and highlight his skill set more than the things that he couldn't do. Elisha, when we went to Nigeria, came off, changed the game because of his work off the... When you watch him at Oxlade, that's what he does best. He's not a progressor, but in a game where you know you are going to keep majority of the ball, in a game where you know you want to take the game to the opposition, you are hurting those two because you are asking them to do something they can't do. Then at the end of the day, people will come and sit there and criticize them. Meanwhile, it's just something they simply can't do. If you remember, the friendly game we played with Switzerland before we went to the World Cup, he used those two. And that was one of the best games we played under Otto because Switzerland had more of the ball. We were sitting containing and they had a simple job. When they get the ball, they give the ball to somebody who can progress the ball, counter-attack. They were brilliant in that game. We all had high hopes for both Salis and then Elisha. Only for the thing to turn around. You see, he needs to know when to use them. That's why I'm saying that. When you look at the skill set of these players and the central midfielders you selected, see, I no go lie you. For some players and the level they are playing, you dare do +1 somewhere -1. Remove an attacker and add Sibo just for integration's sake because you know that the guy is playing in La Liga. And look, if you go to the World Cup, Sibo is somebody that you will take based on the trajectory his career is going. So the sooner you integrate him, the better.
Also, if you look at the nature of opponents Otto has faced, they are opponents where the need for the Elisha Usu and Salis kind of partnership is far between few.
Yeah.
So maximum, maybe Mali. Apart from Mali away, Sudan, Niger, Chad, Madagascar, Comoros, Central African Republic. They are not teams who should see too much of the ball to dominate the Black Stars. And the nature of those games are such that even the opponent will hand possession to you. You will be expected to have midfielders who can find that pass, thread it through, great pass selection, can push the ball forward when that space opens up. So what happened against Chad was the classic case of the space is there, but Elisha also knows his
I appreciate your point.
So when he picks it up, you realize that every time he picks it up, he gravitates towards the center back and he finds Jerome Opoku. So as we should have one of them in the team. Maybe if for a fixture against Mali,
you know the good thing.
Two of them in the squad.
You know the good thing. After the Chad game, Otto is a very, very honest person. He knew he admitted it. I think he knew he made some mistakes. And that's why I'm saying that. And I'm glad with how he responded in the game against Mali. Because the lessons that he drew from the loss of points in the Chad game were well used in the Mali game.
Why is it that
to land perfectly, every game is different. Every game is very different. The chances we created in the first half, if we had buried them, perhaps it would have been a different game.
Why is perhaps these admissions that you're talking about? And I'm not saying you should come and tell us everything.
Yeah.
He admits them to you guys. But to the public, everything is somebody else's
But
fault.
Otto, no.
Like there's
Otto is not that kind of person.
Monday.
Maybe no.
Oh, I can take you through that.
Otto answers questions
Let's start.
in the presser. Hold on.
Let's start.
Hold on. Otto answers questions in the presser based on the questions you ask. He can't manufacture his own answers off the off.
Fair point. Let's start. The AFCON qualifiers.
Yeah.
Angola, he blamed the pitch. Then we went to Niger, Morocco, last green pitch, we couldn't win. Then we came.
Yeah, but I can also show you references where he made in the press where he admitted that he also made mistakes.
I'm just showing you a thread of games where each time it is something else other than him.
But I'm saying that's not a fair admission because I can also show you references in the press.
So when I'm done, then
in the press where he has admitted to his own failures.
So when I'm done, Angola, he blamed the pitch.
So you are telling me you've not heard Otto publicly.
I'm saying that
publicly
make my case.
admitting to making mistakes.
When you are done in responding to it, you can also make them. No, I will allow you.
Be fair. Are you saying?
That.
Hold on. Are you saying for sure that you've not heard in the public space Otto also admitting to making mistakes?
I'm saying that often when he's done that, it's when he has no choice, and it's like the exception. Because more often than not, it is.
Okay, so you've heard him at least.
Angola, he blamed the pitch. Sudan, he said it was luck.
So
and that Sudan won't be lucky again. Then later he blamed it on the quality of players.
So actually, this is where you are not being fair.
Sunday,
hold on.
Ameenu.
Okay.
Last Sunday, Ameenu. He said what he finds problematic. And maybe this guy, and I think he has a big problem with communication. Because you cannot say the expectations of Ghanaians is problematic for you because it gets into the head of players in a game against Chad. That is the expectation, that they are 176th in the world. And that is why you are the coach. You deal with it. You manage.
So you are saying in a game of football, lower ranked teams don't have the right to beat.
I haven't said that. I'm saying that you cannot call our expectations problematic.
I get you. But if the pitch has a problem and the coach alludes to it and it's a fact, I don't see where the problem is.
But they have become too many.
If Sudan were clearly lucky on the day and the coach alludes to it and it's a fact, why is that a problem?
You know the thing about these things.
Why is that a problem?
You know the thing about these things.
Where Sudan, hold on. You had your take. Yeah. Were Sudan not lucky in Accra?
No.
Are you sure?
They were lucky.
No.
They were lucky.
Come on.
You know why I would say no?
That Juku header, 9 times out of 10 he's scoring. Kudus, he and Po, 9 times out of 10 he's scoring. Fatai Isaku, 9 times out of 10 he's scoring. Iñaki Williams, 9 times out of 10 he's scoring. That's luck.
Didn't the pitch play a role in movement?
The only thing is that you say the fact and then you back it.
That's the thing.
Unable to back it, so it will come back.
So all that is said, all that he said, are actually factual.
That's what you added to.
Yes.
The problem with these excuses is that after each excuse, after each element that he did, he goes to the next game and then another number.
No, but
then it is.
But that has not been the case with the World Cup qualifiers.
But I mentioned the AFCON qualifiers to you.
Yes, but that you see, why do you see that? And that's the point I keep making. Mm-hmm. There's no conversation. There's no conversation. Hold on. There's no conversation now that you can have with people about football and the Black Stars without making reference to that terrible run.
Do you know why?
And in some sense, I think it's unfair.
Do you know why?
Do you know why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Even on Sunday,
let me tell you why. For the past 20 years, 2 months to an AFCON, Ghanaians have something to look forward to. So especially with the timing. Right now, after the October qualifiers, November qualifiers, the next thing is what? It's AFCON.
Nothing deep.
So it will, look, this thing, I can promise you that it will die down after the AFCON.
Yeah, that I know.
Ghanaians have every right to reference that, knowing that in December.
I'm not berating people reference, but I think we are making too much meal out of it. I think we need to move on from it.
It's painful.
I mean, it's painful.
You see, no, you can't tell people to move on. It's painful.
Danny, I've just told you this grey hair that I grew was as a result of that terrible run.
Yeah.
And the depression.
The depression I went through, I feel I'm a Ghanaian. You think I don't want to? And in fact, I only earn when the team wins. Yeah. So the whole of last year, I didn't earn a penny with all the hard work I did with the national team. I only earn when the team wins. Even if we draw, I don't earn. So I have more to lose if the team doesn't perform. So you can just imagine how I feel. But I'm thinking that, look, let's move on. It's a bad patch that we can always make reference to, but I think it's influencing too heavily on our narrative. And it's not making us to appreciate the gains we've made. And that's the point I'm making. We've made some gains. We've improved. We're in a strong position of going to the World Cup. Something that I know other countries will easily substitute for AFCON qualification. Nigeria. I know they'll easily substitute it now for AFCON qualification. But I'm not disputing the fact that it's painful. We're all going through it. But I think we should tone down. It's a terrible patch. We all admit and agree to that. But I think we should move on from that.
Final point on this, and then we move the conversation on. You see, the reason it is difficult for some of us to accept the value of the World Cup qualifying run is that even if you take the 6 AFCON qualifiers out of the picture, of the 16 games that Otto has superintended, the part where he's actually done well is over a 4-game stretch. Is when the consistency has come. So the March qualifiers, Chad, Madagascar, and then last year.
He doesn't fix the games. If there were more games, I'm sure you have more.
No, I get you.
More
but
trends.
I'm saying that if you follow the train, a year and 7 months, 16 matches, the first 13 matches were very bad.
I wouldn't say first 13 matches.
No, but those are the results. Well, it is.
He played Mali and then Sierra before.
All within that period. No, all were part of the first 13.
Okay.
Yes. So
and he said all of them were very bad.
That period was very bad.
I don't think so.
That period was very bad.
I saw the game against, even though it was a close game at the end of the day, 4-3. We had no business even playing 4-3. That was one of the best second half I've ever seen the Black Stars play.
I'm saying that period.
Okay.
Everything that when people go through a cycle where of the 13 games that we played, our 2 best, there were only 2 games that you can point to and say those.
Okay, I get your point.
Question. That thing stays, and it takes a longer period for that to be eroded, because even for now that yourself and Otto's proponents would say we have stability and a bit of consistency, the value it adds only takes his win percentage to 37.3%.
Okay.
You get me? And 3 of the 6 wins he's managed have come in this period.
Yeah.
So there has not been enough consistent body of work for people to point to. If, say, we had 8 games of solid performance.
Yeah, I get your point.
Then someone will look at that and say, Charlie, you know what? The team has moved on from that thing. But it is not helped when this is the trajectory.
Yeah, but
also, they are seeing traces of the things that happened in this last Thursday.
Yeah, but the thing is that when you saw it last Thursday, it was remedied the following Monday. So it tells you something. Unlike in the previous situation where it wasn't remedied and got to West Side and West Side became a disaster. Yeah. In this situation, it happened and it was quickly remedied in a very, very good way. Very, very effective.
Have you heard the minister's comments last?
I saw the interview.
Tuesday.
I don't think I don't see anything wrong with it because of the context in which the question was asked.
Yeah.
He sits as minister. If he start raving about we doing well, having not qualified for a World Cup, he doesn't know his job. So I spoke. In fact, I spoke with Otto on this yesterday, and he got the point the minister was making, and I think it's a very, very valid point. We've not qualified yet, so what are you going to rave about? We've missed out on an AFCON, which is very, very much on the minds of Ghanaians. We've not qualified yet, so as a minister, he has nothing to point to show. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think it's fair.
You also mentioned that.
Charlie, I don't want to forget. I want to see it whilst Charlie, that Thompson Faith thing. If I don't see it, my heart will not.
Look, is there a lot of things in
you see
past?
Me?
Which one?
Me, I'm a very honest man. Yeah. My wife always tells me, if I make a mistake, I'll admit that I've made a mistake. Yeah. The time Milo they come, I go sit to Sports Panorama talk. Say me, I like my Milo thick. With the team backfire. And I had a chance to assess the current group of Black Stars players pool. And I saw, if you remember, after the AFCON, I broke it down and I said, look, we need a certain type of coach with a certain philosophy.
Yeah.
Tom Saint Faith. Oga, if Otto is out coaching you with the players you have in Mali, I'm not impressed. The only reason why we are sitting here, most of us were asking him to get a job, were pushing for him to get, was the Gambia job. Did you see the football Gambia played during the qualifiers to the AFCON? That's underdog football. Sit back, hopes it be Karim Zito under 20 type football. Then Boa and then Isaac 40 years.
I will catch you from that side. Mas I kill you one time.
To be frank, what I watched since he took over, the Mali have been watching as compared to the Shishishi head Nigeria coach.
Eric Shelley.
Look, it's a huge departure from what be the guy named?
Eric Shelley.
What Shelley did with this Malian team. The guy, me I dey tell you for here because you dey here. If you decide to sack Otto, don't go for Tom St. Fate.
But why is it in a discussion in the first place?
No, I'm just because me at the sit house and the see things. I'm saying that if we decide to sack Otto, where that thing will come, sooner or later we will sack him. If we decide to sack Otto, Tom St. Fate, he's not the one for the job. Okay. When you were watching that Mali, was there any point in the game where you thought Mali was on top?
No. The question wasn't on top. I was running commentary and I kept telling Frimpong that we could play this game for 1 night.
No score.
Yeah, but we had a situation where after a press conference, a journalist was saying you are the next Mali coach. He rates him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But to also be fair,
that's what I'm saying.
Football is a very funny sport. You are basing this argument based on the game you saw against Black
not the
Stars,
game.
because it's been quite good.
I mentioned, you see, that's what I made a Milo comparison because a good coach is not good for everything.
Okay,
wait. You said a number of things.
Mm-hmm.
The first part is the first part was the Eric Shelley comparison.
Yes,
but he's done better than Shelley.
No, he's done better than him based on not necessarily better. He's not taking them to a competition. Shelley qualified them to you see, Shelley qualified them to the AFCON. He's also qualified for the AFCON with what? With the best defense. Mali is an attacking center team. They have very good attackers, but he did it with the best defense. The qualifiers that he's taking over, look, he's very conservative. What I'm saying is that it will be a mistake. It will be like recruiting Emilio all over again. Let's not make that mistake. The guy is good. Go and look at the Gambia thing and ask yourself if you want Ghana to be playing like that Gambia. Look on Monday. Look when they played last Wednesday or Thursday. Look at how he plays his football and ask yourself if you want Ghana to play. Oh my God. Go and pack some bass beer. That guy, he's good, but he's not good for Ghana. So I beg you. It's good that everybody should give him the job. And in the future, if you sack Otto, don't give him the job. Go and find somebody who plays offensive football that will suit these boys. And when we go to the World Cup, because I'm not sure.
But do you think we should sack Otto though?
You put me for corner inside.
Yeah.
To be frank, look, let Otto qualify us to the World Cup, which I think he will do. But Ameenu, legit, Otto, I like him. I like Otto. The boys are already in the seat for here. I like Otto. But he's not improving at the rate that is befitting of a World Cup. Charlie, these 48 teams will play more matches. Yeah. So the tendency of you qualifying from the group, then you go and drop out from some round of some. It's very high because
So you are saying Otto should qualify for the World Cup?
No, he will qualify,
and then we replace him. That's what you are saying.
Quick. Because the new coach will have enough time.
Why should
but if you want enough time, then you should bring the new coach now.
Not necessarily.
Why should he go though?
Why should he go? I'm saying he's not improving at the rate.
Explain that.
Okay.
Which areas? Communication.
You know, guys, they watch the ball.
Right now,
okay, look.
After that meeting, I'll make my own.
You made a very solid point on turnaround time with national team football. The margin for mistakes in national team football is thinner than club. Club, you train with them Monday to Friday, 1 week. So you can properly assess certain things. You are playing every week to test out your philosophy, test out your tactics, your plan. So if it's not working, you know where to. National team, 2 every month. Maximum, in fact, average of 2 training sessions, because you don't even do morning and evening session. You do 1 session a day. And the 1 session a day safe. No, the first one doesn't count because it's recovery. It's like 1 proper training session before the match, which is minus match day, because the second one safe, players are still arriving. So the margin for error is very thin. And that's why you explain that they go with players that they know. Some of his decisions And you were mentioning it. I was just quiet listening to you. Oh, he admitted he made mistakes. He admitted. You can't just be admitting you make mistakes.
17 months.
Like, to be frank, like, see, this is Ghana. We can't go another competition getting kicked out of the group.
But the mistakes have minimized quite exponentially.
Yes.
So he's improving.
But again, you see, I'm looking at Chad at home. Me, I will feel coach the team.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you.
No, it's not that easy.
Chad, I know I didn't say I will win 5-0.
The Chadian team you saw here was very, very different from the Chad team.
Yes, I know. I saw the players. I saw the players.
They changed coach. They are playing their stadium for the first time in 8 years.
Listen, I said Chad at home, not Chad in Accra. I'm talking about the after World Cup qualifier. That was the first competitive game we played, right? After AFCON qualifiers. Yeah. Chad was the first competitive game we played after World Cup
before
qualifiers.
Madagascar.
Yeah. We beat them 5, then we went to Madagascar and beat them 3.
No.
Competitive fixture.
After the disastrous AFCON Cup.
Yeah.
March.
November we lose to Niger. December Ghana elections.
I get
March. So
yes,
March,
true.
I'm saying that game against Chad at home. The mood around the camp, Boga. Otto now will tell you, see,
everybody
if he just
angry.
did motivational speech, go and play with the boys will win.
Yeah.
Maybe not 5-0, but we'll win. Madagascar was difficult, but it was a neutral win. And the rollover effect from that Chad 5-0, that one today. But to be frank, when you look at the teams we've lost to, I'll give him credit for that. Double clean sheet, very impressed. Then the Chad again. The only top team we faced is Mali. And even Mali, that's what I just said. The Thompson faith and how he's using these boys. To me, I was not afraid. Like, I don't lie. I was more afraid of Otto than afraid of Mali. I didn't fear. Like, if Ghana were Ghana, we would score them. I didn't fear them. But you see, the improvement, see, I don't know if you guys are watching the World Cup qualifiers in Europe and in Asia and even in Africa. Charlie, the level is different too.
I can also tell you that there are situations where it doesn't look good, and then we go there and things turn around. Situations change. You see, football is, I've come to understand, football is such a fluid sport, such that conditions that are prevalent now, tomorrow will be entirely different. Entirely different. And that affects performance, results, what have you. So, yes, as an analyst, you can sit down and say, okay, per my projections and based on what I've seen, I don't think we are trending the right way. And if you compare it to what is happening elsewhere, it doesn't look good. The same comparison we had when we qualified for the World Cup for the first time. We went into a group, Italy, Czech Republic, and then what was it? USA. We're just going to participate. And what happened? We played the best football against the second ranked team at the time, Czech Republic. And we beat the USA. In 2010, at the 2010 World Cup, in fact, even at the 2014 World Cup, our best football came against Germany, the eventual winners. And per what we have displayed prior to the Germany game, we had no business even having a kick at Germany. So what I'm suggesting to you is that, yes, your point might be valid, but football is such a sport that things change. And especially where you have a coach who has presided over a disastrous AFCON campaign, and he has bounced back in a fashion where it's not appreciative enough because of, again, that messed up situation with the AFCON campaign. I would say, give him a chance. That's what I would say. Give him a chance. Because I've seen enough to show to me that I think we are training on a very, very right path.
Finish on that point
and the Mali thing even amplifies it even the more. After the disappointment in Chad, the Mali thing, the Mali game and how it went, how we played it. I mean, the fact that we are even playing at home and we said, okay, we are playing at home, but we are going to seek possession. We don't need a possession. We know how to head them. And in fact, if not for the indecision and not being a bit, composed in front of goal, we should have beaten them 3-0. Easy in my opinion.
Finish on that point.
Club World Cup. The big boys, when they were complaining about conditions. America won't change. What is there is what is there.
Yeah.
So if you can't deal with, You can't go to Chad and come and tell me that.
Even playing at the World Cup, the motivation levels, a lot.
Yeah,
that's
and
the
I'm saying,
conditions I'm talking about.
I don't want to use that point because everybody who is watching this podcast knows that. Me, I like Otto. I think he's on the right path. But my national team is too precious to me to see if he can reach the level that I hope he can reach. At the World Cup in Qatar, look, to be frank, if you assess the 3 games, we were not that bad. It was quality coaching that was the difference. Right. And he was just too inexperienced to make some decisions and change some things that needed to be changed. It's not that like Portugal were way better than us, or South Korea were way better than us, or Uruguay were way better than us. And I'm saying that at the high level, you can't play with some of these things. So if we don't see, and I am not seeing...
But what's the guarantee? Daniel, again, what's the guarantee here? That if you do what you are suggesting we do, and we bring in a manager, I don't know which kind of manager, will be better off.
There's no guarantee, but your odds are increased.
So, no, I don't think so. In football, it's more of you are better off with the devil you know than the angel you don't know.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, most of times, not necessarily.
No, most often than not. When you improve,
because because we've had situations where teams have ditched their coaches ahead of tournaments and they've been disastrous.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't recall situations where teams are going for a major competition and ditch their coach and they've done well. I don't easily recall. Maybe you, but I easily recall the ones that didn't do well.
Yeah, but the good ones often don't also leave themselves in the position where their job is being reviewed, even at the point where they are almost getting.
No, but why are we having a discussion about the review of Otto's job? And it's because we had a terrible AFCON campaign. That's the point I'm making all podcasts, throughout the podcast. Why is Otto's job a subject now?
Because Chad triggered us. That maybe he's still the same.
Hell no.
Yeah.
No.
The two of you.
Isn't the Mali response good enough?
Not necessarily.
Is it?
Chad triggered us.
Look,
so you're telling me that because of one game, Chad, all of a sudden, the other 4 games or 5 games that's
not what we are saying.
I just wanted clarity.
We are saying, like Manchester United this season, okay? After Arsenal was Fulham, you don't judge the Fulham game on a 1-game basis. Yeah. When you look at what the manager has done previously, it will automatically trigger.
Yeah.
So just as what we've seen last season last year with the AFCON qualifiers, that Chad game triggered us that maybe
PTSD.
Otto, are you still the same?
Your fears with the performance?
He did, but again, because of the Chad game, I can't trust him.
So that's the point I'm making. So actually, this is the point I'm making. We are so traumatized. We've been so traumatized by the disastrous AFCON qualifying campaign, that we are not able to even appreciate the how good he's been post that disaster. And a blip against Chad triggers it. So that's the state we are in now. And I'm suggesting to you that it's not a sure thing that if you bring in a fresh person, we won't have semblance of that trigger. And I think, and this is my personal opinion, I think it's a bigger risk then, because you don't know what you're going to get, honestly. Unless you come with compelling reasons. And I don't think these reasons are compelling enough based on one game in this series. Post the disaster, it's only a trigger. You've just been triggered of something that happened. And I'm saying post that, the body of work that he's done suggests to me that he's trending the right path. And it's clear, it's factual. This is very, very clear. But you are saying because of that blip, which
the level of the World Cup.
And the level of the World Cup, you are changing for not a sure thing. I think that's a higher risk.
Here's what I think on Otto. Look, there is a reason, even after 4 points out of 6, even his biggest supporters will admit that there's still some work to be done. Over the 17 months,
there's always work to be done.
If you look at
There's always work
If
to
you
be
look
done
at
in football.
what Otto has done, and if you
Put
break
that in. There's always work to be
there's
done.
always work to be done.
Even if you
But
are
to varying
winning,
degrees.
there's
To
always
varying
work to be
degrees.
done.
If I break down the various aspects of Otto's work, he doesn't score high. Number one. Yes. Number one. Yes, the skill. Not qualifying for AFCON is a sackable offense. Otto should not be in this job.
We
he should
all of us share that
He should not be in this
responsibility.
job. And I think, as you said, we all agreed.
I shouldn't be in the job,
But it doesn't mean that
even though I didn't play the football,
the fact that
and I know I did my job very well.
Ameenu, be disciplined. The fact that we admit that he should not be in the job, it's not enough.
So
It doesn't mean
so
that
now you want him sacked.
He should get a pass.
This guy.
Here's the thing for me. It's not just the fact that he didn't qualify for the AFCON. It's the manner of not qualifying. We played 6 games. Every opponent beat us.
God.
Every opponent beat us. Angola beat us.
It was bad though.
Sudan beat us. Niger beat us.
You know when you
Even
when you go
forgot
like
to-
this.
Yes, let me remind you. Sudan beat us when they did not play a single game at home throughout the qualifying series. They were training in Saudi Arabia.
Shit.
Then they will come and play their home games in either Libya
Niger
or
too.
Morocco.
Oh, but it's okay. We've moved on
Yet
from that.
they picked more points than us and they beat us.
It's okay. It happens in
Niger
life.
didn't play a single game. At
Sometimes
home.
in life you have to
But
go
they
back
beat
to
us.
come forward.
Angola were the only
sometimes.
team that played home games. So we lost to all of these teams. And we lost our home invisibility in both Accra and... See,
We've regained it
What-
in the World Cup
what Otto
qualifiers.
did there, it was
We've
fun.
regained the home invisibility
How?
in the World Cup qualifiers.
Are you aware the last match we played in Kumasi was an L?
Yeah.
I said we've regained it.
can't regain it.
What-
Kumasi spirit has been broken.
No, we've regained
Since
it.
2000.
Since
The
that
last record on Kumasi
you
is
see,
L.
you guys.
It's red.
Otto,
You see,
it was as
PT,
if,
the PT,
it was
the
as if-
PT, the
it was as if
PT,
when CAF cancelled and took away our license for
the
Kabaya,
PTSD that you are talking about.
He felt like, nah, this record, I for do am in Accra again. So at the end of the
see?
AFCON qualifiers, he came to break that home invisibility in Accra too by losing to Niger.
The point I'm making.
In one
but
qualifying
actually,
cycle.
we've said this. You see,
No,
you
no,
people,
I mean,
it is PTSD.
this is why
All your analysis is
this has
heavily
to be
driven
important.
by
No.
a poor run,
that.
which we all
Not that.
admit.
If you
But
allow me
post,
to finish
but
this.
post that.
I mean, you
post
get
that.
to respond this. You get to respond. Please be fair to me. You get to respond to this.
Be fair to them, man.
So
Otto,
he broke 2 invisibility records.
okay,
He's the first Black Stars coach to complete an AFCON qualifying series without a single win. Lost all of these games.
yeah, true.
The manner of it aside is Otto's communication and the fact that accepting responsibility seems very difficult to, like,
No, it hasn't.
when Otto has accepted responsibility, it has been
No.
when there is no citadel to fall on.
No, he always does.
So when we lost to Angola, Otto blamed the pitch.
Which is
God
true.
being so good, we went to Berkane, fantastic pitch in Morocco, and then we failed to beat Niger. Then we faced, so the pitch excuse didn't wash because now you have a better pitch.
There was
You
another
failed.
excuse,
Then we faced Sudan. Otto said it was luck.
which is true.
Greater chances, didn't score. And he said the next game, they won't be lucky.
That was our
We
expectation.
went there, Kwesi Appiah, quick and painless. DK, you like that?
He should come again.
that expression.
We should come
Kwesi
again.
Appiah treated
Why
and
was going?
discharged us.
Like Comoros, you see.
You see,
Hey, but Comoros, if you no score them 10, we no go forgive you.
that they mean I will lead demonstration.
I will for roast them for here. If you no
AFCON
score Comoros
from
10.
AFCON to AFCON proper to qualifying series.
Don't worry. You
No,
see,
it will be some training or 3-1.
you see,
Yes, sir.
you see.
Today we have admitted to one of the things that are super important to us. Some of the teams that have disciplined us, we need revenge. Then after the Sudan beat us, also came to Accra and then said, this is the thing. He wasn't asked to compare the quality
In context.
of his
In
players.
context.
This is why I'm
My
adding
brother.
the context.
Oh.
Otto was not asked to compare the quality of players he was coaching
Oh.
and the first generation that qualified us for.
But you know what he was trying to say.
No,
you know what he was trying to say.
Otto was asked, it was Lawrence Bedu and his boys who asked that question. That the Ghana that we are used to,
Hey,
when it
that's
comes
true.
to AFCON qualifiers,
Actually,
these
to
are
be hard
teams
guy.
that we beat.
True.
Otto decided to hide behind that citadel of hope that, the generation of Black Stars players who used to do well in qualifiers, they are way better than this group, which I felt The statement on its own may be true, but the context and the timing of it betrayed Otto's intentions, which was that he was looking for an excuse.
Okay.
Just last Sunday, Otto in the press conference said the expectations of Ghanaians are problematic. In fact, he said journalists also join, and when we start trumpeting that we need to beat Chad, it gets into the head of the players. And the question I ask myself is, if we cannot expect to beat 176th ranked Chad, then we must as well collapse Ghana football.
Hey.
Let's just accept that right now we are mole.
Yeah,
the
true.
football we won't do again.
Yeah,
It's
true.
just the nation builders new term for the sports ministry.
Actually,
Ministry of
relax,
Sports and what?
Recreation.
Recreation. It's just recreation. It's not professional.
Actually, it's not that easy.
But you see, so you have
Football is hard, oh.
I
My
mean,
brother.
It is hard, but still, the big boys are still qualifying. If you
Not
look
all
through
of
the
them.
World Cup
Not all of them are
even the
qualifying.
World Cup qualifiers. The exceptions are Nigeria and Cameroon.
They are big boys.
Everyone else who is supposed to qualify is qualifying.
But
And he's doing
But
it
what
by-
happened was an exception. What happened to us doesn't actually happen. It's an exception.
Wait, I'm saying the ones that are happening, it is World Cup qualifiers where you meet at least someone closer to your level. None of these teams, they wire for AFCON qualifiers.
That's what I'm saying.
Also,
What happened?
Even for
What happened in the AFCON
Otto
qualifiers? It's an exception. It's not the
Otto's
norm.
saving grace is that he hasn't lost a World Cup qualifier.
Yeah, he has never lost the World Cup.
He's never lost a World Cup.
Hey, Otto.
I didn't even recognize that. Hey,
But
so there's something like
when we
that.
mentioned this, you people don't give us the credit.
But you know something.
Okay.
Like on a side, this is for my pro Otto side. You know that if you take Chris Hughton's 3 points against Madagascar and you throw it away, you know, Otto will still be top of the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otto be guy. Chai will make no sack.
So look, the one saving grace about Otto is that he hasn't lost a World Cup qualifier. And the World Cup qualifying period is where he's done his best work. Yet, the most consistent period in that time, which is from March to now, the body of work there still doesn't take his win percentage to even 40%. Yes. That is why the thing is down there.
Because we
Like, his most consistent period.
because we had a terrible campaign.
So I'm saying that
you see, Charlie,
I'm saying
you
that
see,
it goes
you see,
to show
you see,
that-
my brother, my brother, you see,
Let's do something.
they say
quick, man.
statistics.
If you remove the
remove that.
like quick man, if you remove the AFCON qualifiers
The 6 games.
from the match in Morocco, those friendlies up until
10 games.
what will be the win percentage?
If you remove the AFCON,
What are the games? I'll do it for you.
you have 10 games.
We lost against Nigeria, we drew against Uganda,
Yeah.
we beat Mali, we beat Central African Republic.
Yeah.
Then that was the end of the year. Then we beat Chad, we beat Madagascar, we drew against Chad again.
It will be like 70-something% easily.
So it will be 10 games.
It will be 70-something%.
But-
So you see that.
I reached 10. No, the Unity Cup too.
We have
I
60
forgot the
games.
Unity Cup.
Nike ran away.
Oh, +1 minus 1.
Plus one
That's +1 minus
Nike
1.
ran away. So I'm saying that for the longer period, the performances and the results have not been great.
Yeah.
Granted, now he's gotten us to this point. But the central theme for me is that results or performances, there has been enough time for us to by now have seen what Otto wants to do with this team.
If you've not seen it, then you are blind.
No.
Yeah,
Because
that's what Ateta
that's what
Yeah, if you've not seen that, you are blind.
That is how.
No, but it's true.
Yes, with
So actually, you've not seen what the man is doing. You mean you don't? You have to give me my spectacle.
Everybody.
Hey, you've not seen. You've not seen. You have to open your eyes when you go to the stadium. You have to open your eyes. Open.
This is why. Over the period, yeah, our defensive issues have shown up. Of the 7 games that we've conceded, 6 of them have come in second half of games, which clearly shows a pattern of the team that facing.
Most goals comes in the second half, my brother.
And of the 6 that we've considered, 3 of them come after the 80th minute.
Most goals comes around that time too.
No, that's not true.
It's true.
That's not true.
It's true.
I mean,
It's true.
This one we can.
I saw.
That's not true. Most
most
game football matches come
from-
after the 80th minute.
Yeah, sure. That's when adrenaline levels are high, low.
Easily check the percentage of goals that are scored in that period. If I'm wrong,
Check,
I'll
check,
just
check.
accept it.
Between 75 minutes and going.
Ah.
Don't do it. 80 is too close to the 75 minutes.
Right now,
75 minutes going. Okay, but you make your point.
so
That's by
those
just by the
issues
way.
have remained unaddressed. But largely, if I watch Otto's Black Stars, you can't tell what the best combinations are in the team.
Because every game is different, my brother.
No, but over
I will make a point for Otto. You
I'm
finish.
coming. You can't tell what the best combinations for the team are. You don't see any choreographed patterns.
And you don't you have eyes.
Be it in defense.
My brother is blind.
Be it in attack. We don't see those patterns. And I'm saying to you that 17 months or 19 months is too long a period for us not to have arrived at a
Actually, you need to go and see the
consensus on
Specsavers.
what Otto gravitates towards tactically. Right? And that for me is a problem. Look, I don't care if you are playing defensive football. Let us see that consistency with
His
defensive
biggest
football
attribute is
and
that
outlets
you don't see
to
it
get
easily.
goals.
That's his biggest
I don't
attribute.
care
Unpredictable.
if it is ultra attacking football, but let me see a certain consistency and game on.
I've seen ultra attacking football. I've seen
We
ultra
haven't seen
defensive.
that.
I've seen Horny Hall. Otto.
We haven't seen that over the
No,
period.
but actually,
And
I'm
so
surprised.
That's why I say that.
Their performance
In
against
the-
Mali.
Just-
How will you call it?
Just go. That's why I say that.
What pattern?
That's why I say that. Over the period, Otto has not exactly covered himself in glory.
Okay.
And look, there is not a lot of confidence as we speak that if
Okay.
you take Otto to the World
Because
Cup,
we are scarred. We have a scar. We have a
it's
big
not-
scar
you see,
in our memory.
Ameenu,
It's a fact. And I can understand why.
it is a
Because
scar he created.
I understand. I'm not running
It is
away
a
from
scar
that.
he created. It's like,
Charlie, Danny, make that point.
No,
because this guy.
I've just seen something.
yeah, what's that?
If you take away what Ameenu is saying,
Yeah,
Otto 2.0.
Yeah.
If you take away the
February 2024.
AFCON, this one, he's not lost a competitive game.
Yeah.
You know that, right? The win percentage will be 60, but the 2 L's come from the friendly games to Nigeria. In fact, both to Nigeria in Morocco and then
in the UK.
Unity Cup. But he's not lost a competitive game. And actually, I'm not gonna lie, you can see some. Because if you look at the Mali first leg, there were similarities in the setup, in the philosophy to what we saw in Accra. There were similarities.
I actually need to see the Specsavers.
The Madagascar
computer,
game
the
away from
computer.
home. Madagascar away from home. We saw some
The Mali
similarities.
2 games, I know what you're talking
The
about.
Madagascar
All
away from home,
similarities,
the three. No, I'm saying the setup, like the flow.
Do you
It
see
was very
Kudus
balanced and controlled.
Team say that-
about 15 passes?
I'm saying very.
You think that's not the pattern.
very
That's not the
balanced
pattern.
and controlled.
Actually,
The Central African Republic game, the 4-3 no, and the Sudan game in Accra, there were very clear similarities. Ultra attacking, free flowing, wing fullbacks pumping forward.
Then why are you not convinced?
Charlie, let's close.
I'm saying that. You see, we are saying completely different things.
PTSD.
I'm saying,
PTSD.
I can see what he's doing, but the improvements are not. It's like I can see what Amorim is doing, but the mistakes are too many.
It is
That's what I'm saying.
PTSD.
It's too completely
It is influenced by
different. You say you didn't
PTSD.
see anything. Make no do Otto. So
It's-
I didn't see anything.
You need to see the Specsavers. Honestly, if at this point you say you don't see anything,
No,
you
make
don't
no
see
do.
anything.
You know they try for
The point is that
You can't see. Baka, the guy sitting on top of a World Cup qualifying. We say you didn't see anything.
me.
Relax. I mean, let's move the
I'm very clear in my mind. To end this
So let's
discussion,
move the conversation.
to end this discussion, I'm very clear in my mind. I think, and I've said this, the terrible run has created a big sky in our mind that when we are even analyzing, it still hits, and rightly so, because that was really, really bad. In fact, as you keep reading the statistics of that bad patch, it even triggers me even the more, and it takes me back to that state where I developed more gray hairs. Thankfully, I've come out of it. Don't take me back there. But I'm saying that, look, let us try and decouple the issues. And once we do that, I think we'll probably find a small space to give him some credit. Because I think he's worked hard enough to deserve that plaudit.
Last 2 games, the Central African Republic and then Comoros. We may, if we beat Comoros, there's a high chance that
We've qualified.
But it has to be 2 wins out of 2. Because November there are no competitive fixtures. December no AFCON.
That's where the PTSD will come
Then
from.
the serious one, and the annoying thing is that after the AFCON is over, the African countries who have qualified for the World Cup will have
Friendly
a good
match.
1 month preparation using the AFCON. Match is friendlies. There are no competitive fixtures again. Then June, July, June, you have like 2 friendly games in 1 week, and then you are going to the World Cup.
Yes.
So there's not enough time. That's what I'm saying. I dey fear. Because Otto essentially, if the FA no do a good job in getting us proper friendlies in March, 2 very good friendlies in March, Otto has 2 World Cup qualifiers.
There's something in the offing.
Something big has to happen.
Even before that, but don't worry.
Irrespective of across different administrations, the GFA has always for pre-World Cup.
No, but
we've always
I can understand the pessimism and the lack of confidence. I can understand, but I'm of the view that give the man a chance. We've given him a chance. How well has he used the chance we've given him? He's been excellent.
Okay.
So based on that, I think
you say second chance. You just want his chance.
Yes.
You give him a second chance.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Because you say the chance.
Yes.
The chance has not been
How well has he utilized that second chance? It's been brilliant. To be honest. And based on that, I think this discussion should lie.
Earlier, you mentioned that the whole of last year you were not paid. This week,
no, but and rightly so.
Yeah.
Don't say I wasn't paid as if I'm owed. Yeah, so that's what I signed up for.
Now we have.
I'm owing a lot of because I had to leave.
Is that why you have?
When we lose a game, then I go and borrow. I say, don't worry, the next game we'll win. I come and pay. Then go and lose.
That's why you should.
And I was like, I'll go back to my. I say, oh, don't worry. Oh, this one is just a blip. I'll come and pay. So you can just imagine.
You should join our call for a coach who will win so that you will get.
But he's winning now. I'm paying small. Small, I'm paying.
As a ministry cash, they allow cash out.
It's small, but there's some outstanding. There's quite some outstanding. If they pay that one, I can clear all my debts. Then I'll be strong.
You are hearing me.
Yesterday, for instance, my sister called me.
Ameenu.
He said, listen to this. He said, oh, she needed money to go and do passport. I said, I don't have money. He said, oh, but you won yesterday. I said, look at this girl. Because minister went to publish that, oh, if you win, you get this. I said, mother, Boga, relax.
Let's get into that publication. The aspect of it that I don't understand. Initially, I thought it was the backroom staff. So I'm going to give you a blank check here to start with. What is the size of the Black Stars backroom staff now?
Okay, sometimes it depends. It changes. The standing one is about 18.
18.
That are the regular. It increases based on the needs of a particular match. For instance, in this game that we played against Mali and Chad, one of our performance analysts is engaged with Crystal QPR, and he wasn't given permission. So we had to rope in another person. And because he's probably not too familiar, we need to bring in another. You see, so it differs. So it ranges between 18, 22, thereabout. But in tournament situation, obviously you need more hands. And that one it goes.
In the period that you have been here, what's the average number?
So I say 20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay. The information that we have received, some of the documents that we intercepted, which is different from because the specific one that we were discussing last week.
You can't see you are intercepting documents.
But that's what we did. The specific one we discussed last week on the show was not what the minister published. And what we had some item line of listed officials, up to 27 of them. When the Black Stars have traveled, who are the other officers?
It's difficult.
And what is the size of?
It's difficult to tell because sometimes you travel with other officials that are not even, I don't even know. Maybe some staff from the ministry, from other agencies that have some peculiar rules. They sometimes even assign special security detail to the team. That increases the numbers, obviously. So it's difficult. And they are not directly under my purview, so it's difficult to tell who is this, who is this, who is that. Yeah.
Okay. This practice where, for example, the equipment officer receives is marked to receive the same remuneration or winning bonus as the team doctor. Why is it so?
Okay. Apart from the coaches, none of the people working with the Black Stars are on salary. And I've seen at first hand the enormous work we are not even doing enough because we are just managing the situation. So I think it's the categorization, and it has to do with the people who were at the negotiation table. They, in their own wisdom, categorized it in a certain way. I have not bothered to really, really ask because my mind is not.
Because
focused on.
I think there are two issues here.
Yeah.
The categorization is wrong. Like
In your opinion.
yeah, it's wrong. Because in any other institution, yeah, let's say the Black Stars was a private, like some, for example, at Dreams FC,
Yeah.
the club doctor,
Yeah.
obviously is not going to end the same as
Yeah,
the
you see,
officer.
I think that is very, very wrong way of looking at things. It means
How so?
you don't value the case officer as much as you value the doctor.
Not necessarily.
That's what you are doing.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
And I will explain to you.
Okay.
No disrespect to the, and I only use the kid.
Yeah,
the kids as
we understand.
For an example.
Yeah.
But one of them is what it takes to get to that level. I mean, we know it, right? Far more goes into that than the equipment officer.
You are wrong.
No, I'm coming. Let me explain. If
Okay.
you disagree, that's fair. The experience required, the education level, the skill sets required for that level.
Formal education, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Is the reason when it comes to the pay structure, typically, the club medical doctor or the team's medical doctor obviously won't be earning in the same wage bracket.
You might be wrong.
as-
Some case officers in some clubs I know earn more than doctors and physicians.
Kids officers.
Yes.
Why?
You think it's easy?
No, I'm open to understand it. So I'm asking.
Look, I'm glad. I'm glad that
I'm open to learning about
for,
it. That's
okay,
why I'm asking
for
that.
let me provide.
So for example,
I'm very
at Dreams
glad.
FC,
I'm very glad
yeah.
that I'm not working as a case officer. It's a very, very tough job. And in fact, if you don't have a case officer, it's likely you even lose a game before you kick a ball. Think about
It
it.
was an important job, I know.
Just think about
But I'm
it.
saying that, I mean,
If your kids are not right, you've lost a match.
you can compensate those other officers well
Yeah.
without necessarily making the medical officer now feel like he's being...
I'm not saying that. I'm suggesting to you that there are
Because by
instances
the
where
same token,
Yeah.
someone like Dr. Pam,
yeah.
I'm sure the day he learns about how much his colleagues who were at one point...
Do
or the other
you know his contract? Do you know the details of Dr. Pambo's contract? You see, that's the
don't
thing.
allow me to finish. I'm saying that...
What you've seen is what. Okay, I've not even seen a ministry, a sports ministry, or a Ministry of Sports and Recreation
Sorry.
sign on any document. So let us is reported out there might not necessarily be what is contained in terms of reference and the document that we sign as contract. Maybe there are other benefits that are entitled to other people that you might not know of. That is not captured in what is reported out there.
Fair enough. I see you don't want to answer the question. So
No, I'm just giving you the perspective. But
I
trust
want
me,
to understand. Why is it
it's
that-
a difficult job.
Why is it that someone who is, for example, a full-time employee of the GFA,
Mm-hmm.
a member of the comms team, why would that person be entitled to a winning bonus as opposed
I don't
to
know.
getting a per diem?
I don't know. You need to ask those who put it there.
Who put that?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, Daniel, if you have...
But I'm fully employed by Dreams FC.
Yeah.
But I get bonus. You don't think I deserve it?
So you work as the team manager as well.
Yes.
The media officer,
Yes.
that's the extension of their job.
Yeah. Eh?
Yes.
But you don't think what I do with the Black Stars is an extension or is related to what I do at Dreams FC?
No.
It is.
No.
It's actually.
You are not an employee of the GFA.
Yes.
You are teller.
Yes, I'm not an employee
Exactly.
of the GF.
So if they ask you to
So
come
I'm
and
just
do that,
giving. Okay.
they have to compensate.
So you do Joy FM, you do Malam Go podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do other things.
Yes.
Why are you doing them?
When I come
You
here, they
don't
compensate.
you don't deserve to be compensated by the other things that you do.
No, they are different.
So is that I think look, I know where you are going and I want to address this issue. Look,
I'm saying
a lot of people make a lot of meal out of this. First and foremost,
Uh-huh.
I work at Dreams FC. That's my full-time job. The Black Stars is a part-time job that I do. And that's why I'm not on salary and I'm not complaining. And that's why my remuneration is such that I only get rewarded when the team wins. I'm not complaining. If the team loses, if indeed the media officer of the team is on the same peg and he also doesn't earn if we lose, he also is putting in effort. If he wasn't, and every team needs a media officer.
And he receives
that
a
one?
per diem for.
That one.
No,
About what is per diem? Per diem. What is per diem? It's an allowance.
yes.
It's like allowance, like
cater
you
for
get
the inconvenience.
fuel allowance
Yes,
and
no,
stuff like
I
that.
mean, it's
You
to
get
cater
allowance.
for the inconvenience that is created by
Me, I
taking
don't-
you out of station to go and work. Well, that's it.
So you are saying that
So why does that person become
so you are saying
eligible to-
so your argument is that by virtue of the fact that he's an employer of the FA, he's not entitled or he shouldn't.
To a winning
He's not
bonus.
deserving. That's your contention. I disagree, but this I can't. This is a debate that we can go either side. So
Fair enough.
let's-
Charlie, I mean, thank you for coming.
thank you very
You
much.
have done your friends for some time now.
Thank you very much.
Yours.
I came here. They only gave me water. By the way, they didn't
now
start
you
on
want to be
time.
drink.
What they promised me, they've not delivered.
Yes.
They told me we'll start at a certain
Don't mind
time,
it.
2 hours before we started.
I mean,
But the water is good.
Is that
It was served by a
didn't
very
get your
beautiful lady. I must say, very, very kind.
I mean,
I'll come here again.
Excuse is that he didn't get jollof at Cranton's wedding. Wedding happened 2 years ago.
You were in Kumasi against
I
Madagascar.
don't
Is that why you
understand.
didn't invite me?
Oh, but I watched the thing.
Is that why you didn't invite me?
Yeah,
Genuinely?
because I knew you
Okay,
were.
fine.
You were. Oh, Ameenu. Now, did you see anybody who had an assignment during that time at the wedding? Me, I know they waste invite.
Don't mind.
So if I'm giving it to you, I need to know you are
That
coming.
you are coming.
It's your loss. That's the water. Very, very good.
Ameenu will take leave of us because unfortunately he cannot be part of the next.
No. My time is up. Don't say, unfortunately, I can't be part. I was going to be part, but you started 2 hours late, and I have to go.
Today you force. Well.
I'm happy to be here. Hopefully, I can join you some other
Ameenu is
time
our friend. He was supposed to leave at 6, but he's been with us yet. So
to go and get money.
Yeah.
I've lost that money because of Malam Go Portrait, but it's all good.